So this is an event especially created for job seekers who are looking for work during the time of COVID. It's been a very challenging, unprecedented times, as we've heard. So in this workshop, we have a guest speaker, Zeinab Kahera, who's going to show us the ropes, how we can embrace uncertainty. So our event is called, Do I Have to Quarantine My Career? How to Find a Job During Uncertain Times, hosted by the Canadian Multicultural L.E.A.D Organization for Mentoring and Training, featuring Zeinab Kahera. And today's is Wednesday, September 29th. As with all our events, this event is being recorded. So we will be recording our workshop so that you have a chance to watch them afterwards on our YouTube channel. Before we dive into it, I'm going to pass it to my colleague L.E.A.D, who will do a land acknowledgement.
Thank you, Valerie, and welcome everyone. I'm going to get started with the land acknowledgement. As treaties people on Turtle Island, we are obligated to uphold treaties made from a long time ago. Where I am situated, I would like to acknowledge the traditional territories of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation, the Mississauga peoples, and the treaty territory of the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nation. I also want to thank the First Peoples for the ongoing teaching of how we are to learn on the land and from the land in partnership with each other, the animals, and the plants. Over to you, Valerie.
Thank you, L.E.A.D, for the land acknowledgement. So here's the agenda for this evening. We'll introduce the L.E.A.D organization and ourselves. We'll go through our ground rules and housekeeping norms. We'll introduce our speaker for the evening, and she will take over for our main event. We'll have some time for Q&A, and we'll also talk about upcoming events. So I'm going to hand it to L.E.A.D to talk about the L.E.A.D org.
Thank you, Valerie. Yes, so I'm just going to give a brief summary of our organization in case anyone here is new. So we are a registered charity here in the Greater Toronto area, and our main aim is to help youth and adults turn any challenges they might be facing into opportunities. And we base this principles on the 4 tenets of leadership, empowerment, achievement, and determination. And since 2007, we've been running the L.E.A.D program, which is an opportunity to mentor high school students here in the GTA. And over the past couple of months, we've expanded our reach to also involve youth and young adults, which is why we're bringing programs like this, career development programs, to youth. And our mission is to give individuals from youth to seniors the support to develop strategies and tools to create their own success stories.
Thank you, L.E.A.D, for the great introduction to the L.E.A.D organization. My name is Valerie. I am one of the program coordinators at the L.E.A.D org. By profession, I'm a career development practitioner, and I'm thrilled to be part of the team here. I am very passionate about helping youth and young adults with their career development, and I'm thrilled to be partnering with Zeinab Kahera for this amazing event this evening. I love helping youth with their confidence, and this topic tonight that you'll learn about is going to help you boost your self-esteem, your confidence as you're applying for work during these challenging times. And stay tuned for some more information about our career camp that Zeinab is going to be part of later, actually next month. And over to L.E.A.D for a quick intro.
Thank you. So just a couple of ground rules for the event. We ask that we're each respectful of each other. We ask that you're open to learning and using the information properly. And we also ask that you're helpful with the information that you're sharing.
Okay, and further, we ask you to be authentic, be present, and take action. This will be an interactive event. We will be using breakout rooms to rouse discussion, so please be active during those times. All right, and now it's my pleasure to present to you our special guest speaker, Zeinab Kahera. Zeinab Kahera is a career coaching company owner and a career success specialist for Juneau College of Technology. Her work is centered around helping people find a job and and career that aligns with their mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical needs. She is inspired by her clients' potential and giving them the tools to empower themselves. See, we have a lot in common. Her professional expertise comes from a decade in management, coaching, recruitment, and hiring in multiple industries. Zeinab holds a Bachelor of Business Administration in Management and a Master's of Education in Counseling. In her free time, she loves watching sports, especially basketball, and her favorite book is The Four Agreements. I'm also familiar with that book. It's a good one. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to our special guest speaker, Zeinab Kahera.
Hi,
Thanks so much for being
everyone.
here.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to do a switcheroo. But while I have everyone here, I just want to say thank you for having me. I'm excited to have this great discussion with you today. I have two additional requests, no, not rules, but requests. I definitely recommend that you have something to write with. You can even have like a computer or something, because I'll be asking you questions throughout and I want you to be able to reflect and journal. And then also, because we're doing Q&A towards the end, I don't want you to forget your questions. So, definitely write them down as we're going through the presentation. And the other part is, if you're feeling comfortable, I would love for you to show me your beautiful faces if you're feeling comfortable. I know it's 6 o'clock. I was telling Valerie and Olamide that I I was really tempted to show up in my pajamas, but I felt like maybe that's not the best thing to do. So yeah, if you feel comfortable, it's no pressure. Obviously, we are all used to the world of Zoom due to the pandemic. So I'm going to get started here sharing my screen. Let's see here. This is the one that we want to use right here. We're going to click on present. Beautiful. Can you all see my screen? Yes? Great. So yes, as Valerie had mentioned earlier, tonight's topic is about, do I have to quarantine my career? And how to find a job during uncertain time. And the focus of this presentation really came from the fact that we're still very much dealing with the pandemic. But also, I remember when I first started college, it was around 2008, and that was when we had a major recession and a lot of people were losing their jobs. I'm from the United States, so I'm assuming that the trickle down affected Canada as well. But I significantly remember, millions of people being out of jobs. And I felt like I was very fortunate to get a job during that time. So the conversation we're going to have today also includes just things that I've learned over my career. And I said 10 years in the bio, but I actually think it's more like 15 at this point. I'm aging myself, but that's okay. Okay, cool. Can you see the slide moving? Great. So I've broken down the conversation tonight to 4 specific focuses. The first one is embracing the uncertainty in your job search. The next step is identify your current needs and values. Then we're going to talk about how you create an attainable, sustainable job search plan. And then we're going to talk about how you can identify tools to support yourself through your job search. Okay? So let's talk about uncertainty. So uncertainty is a lack of sureness about someone or something. It may range from falling short of certainty. I have braces, by the way, so some letters, they just merge together. I apologize in advance. It may range from falling short of certainty to an almost complete lack of conviction or knowledge, especially about an outcome or result. All right, so that is the Webster's Dictionary of uncertainty. But uncertainty can manifest in our lives in different ways. Some of the impact of living in an uncertain time is having a sense of fear and loss of belief. lack of confidence in yourself and in others, and lack of direction. I remember last year around March, when the pandemic, when everything started to shut down, we all remember the grocery stores and how people were just really panicking and buying stuff that they probably never eaten in their life, but they figured, you know, I gotta have cans of, I don't know, artichokes in my closet, in my cabinet. But part of that was the fear pushed a lot of people to kind of move without direction, without rationality, right? When we're talking about our career, uncertainty can manifest in these ways: forgetting our differentiators, our strengths and our values, feeling unequipped to find a job, abandoning our needs, wants, and values, and then not in feeling empowered to make decisions about our careers. So the thing about uncertainty is sometimes we feel like we don't have a choice anymore. We have to just focus on surviving. So we sometimes abandon our ability to make a choice for ourselves or make a rational choice. So let's talk about what certainty is. Well, certainty means a state of being free from doubt. It includes one thing, the existence of objective proof. Certitude is having faith in something, not needing or not capable of proof. I suggest that in order for us to embrace uncertainty, we have to embrace certitude. We have to have a sense of faith. Faith is subjective to whomever, to all of us. However you define faith is for you. But the goal is to imagine if we embrace the possibilities that would manifest from uncertainty. So what's possible if we focus on having faith and trusting that despite the fact that we don't know what's happening right now, something amazing can manifest for us, right? That's the focus of the presentation. I want you to keep that at the top of your head, okay? So I wanted to share some really great quotes about uncertainty. So over here, Tony Robbins says, in times of uncertainty, surprise and fun in our lives can be unlocked and allow us to experience brand new feelings, thoughts, beliefs, and strategies. Eckhart Tolle says, if uncertainty is unacceptable to you, it turns into fear. If it is perfectly acceptable, it turns into increased aliveness, alertness, and creativity. And Brene Brown, who is like my BFF in my head, I love her so much, says, choosing to be curious is choosing to be vulnerable because it requires us to surrender to what? Uncertainty. It wasn't always a choice. We were born curious, but over time, we learn that curiosity, like vulnerability, can lead to hurt. As a result, we return to self-protecting, choosing certainty over curiosity, armor over vulnerability, and knowing over learning. Okay? Beautiful quotes. All right, so now is our first journal reflection. We're not gonna stay here too long. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, in the chat, there's 2 links. The second link is the questions in one beautiful worksheet for you. So if you're not able to grab all the questions as we're going through the presentation, they're in the worksheet. If anybody has any issue accessing it, just put it in the text and I'll make sure that we get that to you, okay? So first questions I want you to think about is, how have you dealt with uncertainty in the past? How has it showed up for you? And then how would you like to navigate uncertainty moving forward? So if you were able to embrace uncertainty and use it as a tool, use it as something to drive you forward positively, how would you do that? Okay, 2 reflection questions for you. All right, moving on. Let's talk about needs and values. So I was introduced to the concept of needs and values from my coach. Every coach has a coach, just so you know, just like every therapist has a therapist. And one of the things that I received from the needs and value, from learning about my needs and values, is that when I really started to think about it, the times that I felt unsatisfied or disconnected from my job, were times where my job did not align with my needs and my values. The needs and values assessment, or the concept of needs and value, comes from Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if you all are familiar with that. In order for your values to be satisfied, your needs have to be met first. So, what are needs? Needs are conditions, things, and feelings that you must have to be minimally satisfied in life. Often, needs are the things that must be met before you can really get on with life. When you have unmet needs, you are usually bound or hooked by people, events, thoughts, jobs, right? Needs are what you must have, not what you want, prefer, or deserve. Very often, we navigate without honoring our needs. And sometimes we think about our wants. Our wants are very much connected to our needs, but we should start with our needs first. Values. So what are values? Values are who you are. That is, once your basic needs are met, you tend to want to express your values. Values are not needs. If you need something, it is not a value, even though it may appear to be. Once you experience your needs being satisfied and met, you see this distinction more clearly. Remember, values are what you do or how you express yourself after your needs are met. So why are we talking about needs and values when it comes to the job search? Right? Well, we have to identify our needs and values because when faced with uncertainty, it's tempting to abandon our needs and values to survive the current moment. We should be intentional about staying connected to our vision for ourselves. So this is very important because when we're dealing with a job search, or when we're dealing with a job search during an uncertain time, like a pandemic. Oh, okay, there we go. We have to be flexible, right? We have to be flexible and adaptable. That means that sometimes we're going to have to take a job that may not necessarily align with our full vision for ourselves, right? And so if you know what your needs and your values are, when you come back to, when the opportunity presents itself, or when you see things to turn around and get better, you can go forward in your vision for yourself professionally in your career. So being conscious of your needs and values remind you that the job that you're taking right now, it has a purpose. The purpose will be served, and then we keep it moving. Okay, so identifying, so like I said, this doesn't mean you should only find a job that aligns with your needs and values. It just better equips you to not abandon your needs and values when you encounter uncertain times, okay? So how do we identify our needs and values? Well, one of the things that in the Brene Brown quote she was talking about getting curious, right? Start exploring and asking questions. What do I value in my ideal role? Does my job, I knew I was going to find a typo, Valerie, there you go. Does my job and my career align with what I value? Start with where you are right now and understand that as you evolve, so will your needs and values, okay? That's why I said identifying your current needs. We are evolutionary beings. Our needs and our values will evolve as we do, okay? Just a FYI, the worksheet that I gave you all at the bottom is a link to a needs and values program. That's an assessment. It's actually the one that I did. You all can access that, okay? It's for your convenience.
Zainab?
Yes.
Do you mind sending the link again? We're not
sure, is it not working?
Yeah. We don't have it, yeah.
Oh, okay, let me share it real quick. And if it doesn't work, I will upload a PDF.
Okay.
So talking about being flexible and adaptable, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Thank you so much, Zeinab. I was wondering if you could go back like 2 slides back. I just wanted to make a quick note if that's possible. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. Is it here?
No, it was the one before. It was the need this one. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, that's it. Thank you.
No problem. And Can anybody confirm that you have access to the worksheet now?
Yes, we do. I
We
just
do?
opened it up and it's good. Thank you, Zeinab.
Okay, you're welcome. I'm not sure who asked me for the slide, but are you okay? Did you get everything you needed from it?
Yeah.
Whoever asked me to go back? Okay.
Yes, I did. Thank you so much for going back. You can go ahead.
No problem. You're welcome. Thank you for asking. Okay. We're gonna transition through my fun transitions. Did I read this slide already? Yes, I did. Okay, next one. So here's a list of common needs and values. These are also on the assessment that's in the worksheet. So I don't expect you to take a moment and write down all of these, but I just wanted you to get an idea of what they were. I'll share with you what I learned my needs were. My needs were accomplishment, certainty, freedom, order, peace, and safety. Accomplishment, I learned that in order for me to really move forward in anything that I do, I have to have a sense of accomplishment. So now what I've learned to do is reward myself when I accomplish things, because it's almost like me sealing the deal and I feel like, wow, I did this. The other thing is certainty. I am someone that really likes clarity. I ask questions a lot. I ask people if they have questions a lot. I will, be forthcoming with additional information. Sharing resources is very important to me because clarity is important to me. That's something that I need. My values, being a catalyst. So making an impact and a motivator, i.e. being a coach. I'm pretty sure that's one of your values, Valerie. Feelings and emotions, so being empathetic, teaching and training, being sensitive, and then my spirituality. Those are my values, okay? Beautiful stuff. So we're back to another set of reflection questions. All right, we're doing good on time too. So the next set of questions is, looking at where you are in your life right now, what do you need and value for yourself? How would you like your needs and values to show up in your career? I know that the needs and values may take a little bit more evaluating, but if you were to think right now before you do any type of assessment, what do you feel like you need for yourself and you value? Okay, everybody's good? Okay, there is in Zoom, there's an option to do like thumbs up emojis. So definitely use that, okay? I like reaction. Okay, cool. So the next step is creating an adaptable and sustainable job search plan. Okay, so this is where we get into the more black and white process, the black and white part of finding a job during, regardless if it's during uncertain times, you should have a plan, okay? So I broke this specific section into 4 parts. The best parts of a job, a good job search plan will include the following: an organized job target criteria, a strategy, a schedule for applying, and your job search support tools. It's the same as the one that I introduced in the beginning, but it also is very much a part of the job search plan. So let's talk about the criteria. We want to try and keep it as simple as possible, but these are some things that I recommend you should have for your criteria when you're trying to figure out what jobs you want to target. Your relevant and transferable skills, also framed as your employable skills, making a list of those, your job titles, your desired industry, your salary range, high and low, desired location. Oh, desired location is twice. Well, blasted foolishness. We'll see the right one at the next slide. Okay, cool. No, it's still twice. Oh, you know what that's supposed to be? I'm sorry, y'all. That is supposed to be contacts and network. My apologies. Okay, so identify your employable skills. So the example that I use is with somebody who works in customer service, right? So their employable skills are customer engagement, training and development, process management, coaching, and performance management. So this is somebody who does customer service management, right? Some of the titles that they may be looking for: service manager, support lead, operations lead again. Wow, I really kind of dropped the ball on this slide. Desired industry: they may want to work in travel, retail, food service. Salary: low end 55, high end 65, just a tip. Try to keep your salary range around $10,000 in range. Desired location: maybe Toronto, Hamilton, Mississauga, or maybe they want to work remote. Network: so these are people that you've worked with before that you could reach out to and say, hey, I'm looking for work. I wanted to know if you had any potential leads, or if you could give me any advice of who I should reach out to or talk to about helping me with my job search. That's who your networking connects are. Okay, beautiful. I'll update this before you all have access to the presentation, or yeah. Okay, so then the other part of the job search plan is follow a simple strategy. Okay, first thing you want to do, make sure your resume, cover letter, and LinkedIn are updated. You want to have a keyword and make sure they're keyword industry relevant and personalized to the job description. If any of you all are going to be attending the what is it, Valerie? I just lost
career
my
camp?
words. The camp, thank you.
Yes.
I'll be talking about cover letters and resumes. Another thing you can do is aim to apply at the same times per week or for the same hours per week, right? That consistency is very key for your job search. Very often I see working at Juneau, by the way, I work at Juneau College of Technology, oh, it was in the bio, very often what I see is that people will get started, they will encounter some rejection because guess what? Most of the jobs you're going to get rejected to, you only want one, right? And then they're like, I don't want to do this anymore, and they stop, right? And then they start to see other people getting jobs and they're like, well, you know, how come I don't have a job? Well, you don't have a job because you stopped applying. So you have to be consistent. Part of the reason why I talk about the support tools is helping you to deal with those rough times because it's not easy. The job search is not easy, okay? The next thing is you want to make direct contact with hiring managers, recruiters, or HR managers through email in addition to your application. So something that we, how we support our Juneau students is, well, let me just give you some context in Juneau. So Juneau is a web development bootcamp based out of Toronto. And so people come to learn specifically front-end development, but we also do data analytics and some and other topics as well. But our web development bootcamp is where I coach individuals with the career search, and I'm with them all 9 weeks of their bootcamp, and then afterwards they have full access to me for their resume, their cover letter, interview prep, helping them negotiate. I just helped somebody negotiate their salary today, and they got their asking. And one of the things that we tell them is that in order for you to really make an impact on your job search, you have to break the job portal wall. You cannot just rely on that. So sending an introduction email, which is pretty much like a condensed version of your cover letter, brings your application to attention. It accelerates your application so that so people have quicker access to it, versus if they're depending solely on the job portal. I had a student come in today and sit on a panel that I coordinated. And one of the things he said is that the best web developer is not going to necessarily get a job. It's the person who really navigates that job search the right way. Okay, just keep that in mind. Lastly, you want to look for opportunities to get a direct referral. Depending on your industry, some companies pay their employees for their referrals. So if you can reach out to people, some call it cold calling, cold emails, make a connection, use LinkedIn, ask them for a chat. Tell them you're looking to learn more about the company, about the industry. You would love to hear their expertise. Build a rapport. And then eventually you can ask them if they would be willing to refer you. Keep in mind that the conversation that you're having with them, they're interviewing you. So you got to say the right things. But you keep a rapport, you ask them, can you refer me? And most likely they will say yes, because if you're a good candidate, that may be $2,000 to $3,000, $1,000 in their pockets, or $1,000, or shoot, I'll take 500 at this point, okay? So use that so just keep that in mind, that there are opportunities for you to get in there without just solely depending on the application. And then lastly, maximize your employable skills. So let's talk about that a little bit. What's my time? 6:33. Okay. So we've been talking about, the strategy I shared is something that you can use regardless of if you're in your specific field and continue on your plan for your career. But let's say that you have to take a job that is away from what your career goals are, right? Well, this is an approach I think you should take. So right now you're at your current job, right? I'll give you an example of myself. I'm a career coach, but for 3 years I worked in customer service in a support center as a manager. That was my current job. So what are some things that I can do to help me when I have the opportunity to move to the job I want to? First, I create a short-term plan and a long-term plan that will transition me back into my ideal career. So let's say that the plan that we just discussed, that's the short-term plan. The long-term plan is, what are the things that I need to be focusing on as I'm working, as I'm, gaining financial stability that will lead me into the role that I really want to be in. The next thing is boost your current skills and learn more skills. You can do this by exploring free resources that are available. YouTube, LinkedIn has, they have their LinkedIn Learning. If you get a free trial, just go video happy for your free trial. Watch as much as you can. Even online, it's not free, but I believe Udemy offers so many courses at a reduced rate that you can take. But that idea of continuous learning is something that that mindset is something you should embrace, okay? And then keep in mind, your company might offer free resources, right? So take advantage of them. They don't need to know what you're using them for. All I need to know is they offered them and you're taking the offer. And then lastly, build your network. Join professional groups and seminars in person when that's available, but online, and engage in online discussions. LinkedIn is a great place to do that. I know some people are adverse to social media, but I tell my students and my clients that you decide how you want to use LinkedIn. If you want to just use it solely for the purpose of it's a landing page of your profile when people want to search for you, you still got to update your profile. But if you want to use it to start building your network, start by just commenting on people's posts. You don't even have to share anything. Once you get comfortable, then you can start sharing. Nobody's expecting you to be an influencer, but you never know who's watching you. I think that's how me and Valerie got. It was. She added me and I was like, let's talk. And here we are. So just keep that in mind. Like, just as simple as saying hello to somebody can create an opportunity for you to do something that's going to help you and maybe help other people, right? Okay, cool. So then the other thing we want to make sure is we create a schedule. So here, there are different options that you can do in terms of your schedule. Let's say you don't need to have a specific time, but at least 3 times out of the week for a couple hours in the morning, you want to apply for jobs. Stick to that. Let's say you're very strict to your schedule. So you say from 12 to 2, I'm going to apply for jobs. Stick to that. Let's say you think more broader. I want to make sure at least 4 hours out of the week, I don't care what time of the day is, I'm going to apply for a job. Let's say I'm only going to apply for a job on Monday and I'm going to do it for 4 hours. Really quick tip, Monday is a great time to apply for jobs because a lot of times employers, hiring manager planning out their weeks. So they're also considering their hiring needs, right? And so they're thinking about doing potential interviews. They usually have stand-ups in the morning where they're talking about their focuses for the week. So you're getting them when their brain is already thinking about that stuff, right? And that also includes not just submitting your application, but sending an intro email in particular is a good time. Monday is a good time. Thursday and Friday are not, because we all know by the time Thursday comes, shoot, Wednesday at 5 o'clock, we're already thinking about Saturday. Okay, so most employers are thinking about that as well. So you don't really want to apply and send intro emails towards the end of the week. It's better to do it in the beginning. Okay, cool. Everybody's doing good? Can I get some thumbs up? All right, love it, thank you. So now we're on to our next set of reflection questions, which is 1, have you ever utilized a job search plan? Think about it. Maybe you were and you didn't even realize you were. Maybe just the nature of how you organize yourself in your personal process. You always got to have a plan. I know I do. I love Excel. If I can put it on a chart, I'm gonna do it, honey, okay? Next question is, how do you feel about using a job search plan how do you feel using a job search plan would help you in your job search? So let's say you haven't really used a job search plan. If you were to embrace the idea and really put it into place, how would that help you? Okay, 2 questions I want you to think about. The last part, which is actually one of my favorite parts, is the support tools. So the reason why this is important to me is because regardless if you have the best resume, best cover letter, best LinkedIn, you're sending out intro emails, you are networking, connecting with people, going to seminars, everything I mentioned, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that the job is going to come right away. It is going to accelerate the process, but there is very much a timing part of the job search. Okay. And so you have to be able to, it's in your best interest to prepare and be proactive for those times when things are just not going great. And that's why these support tools are important, because it allows you to be human. It allows you to say, you know what, there are going to be times when I get a rejection and my feelings are going to be hurt. And I'm going to go get me some vegan Cherry Garcia ice cream from the store, you know. Don't do that every time. Especially if you're applying a lot, don't eat ice cream each time you get a rejection email. But, you know, acknowledging that we have to heal, there's a healing process that we can go through is so helpful. So I mentioned the journal element. And so, oh wait, no, I'm jumping ahead, just kidding. So the thing that I frame it as a support toolkit. So what is the support toolkit? A personalized kit that you can utilize to help you release our obstructive feelings and emotions. So this includes self-limiting talk, mild anxiety, fear, and the like. It helps you stay productive in your search and allows you to take productive breaks. So what to put in your toolkit? Affirmations you could say, activities you can do, acknowledging the individuals who we value in our lives, whether we know them or not, entertaining resources like books, video games, movies, and podcasts. These are things that we do for fun. It's okay to do them. If they make us feel good, if they help us release stress, I encourage you to engage in them. The goal is not to do them more than you do your job search, but you definitely want to incorporate them in that process, okay? All right, this was a slide that I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. So I'm very much of a journaler. So I have questions that I normally ask my clients. And so I obviously put it in the frame of a journal, but the first question that I will ask them is, for the job search toolkit and building it, when I'm noticing feelings of discouragement, the following individuals help me release those feelings. That could be friends, family, social influencers, public figures. So this person's answers may be their sisters, Nabila Moore, who is a social media person, influencer, Brene Brown, who was an author. So this person taps into those people. Number two, utilizing these resources help me release negative feelings. So this can be books, blogs, TV, movies, etc. Books, The Big Leap, I'm actually reading that. A podcast, a blogger. These are the people that when you go to their, specifically for me, if I would go to their platforms or read their books, I have a positive experience. It makes me feel good. I can do this activity to shift my mood positively or release stress. So it can be exercise, reciting affirmations, deep breathing. So spinning for an hour, going for a walk around my neighborhood, playing NBA 2K. The point is write it down and acknowledge it, okay? Some more questions we can ask ourselves are, oops, we went backwards. Let's go forward. Okay. What conditions do you need in place to have a productive day or week? Okay, so now we're talking about more specifically, how can we set ourselves up for success? Order. Order is having a clean space. I use order because order is also a need from the needs and value assessment. Peace and quietness. Starting my day with undedicated time. So literally telling yourself, I'm going to get up at 10, I'm going to get up at 9, I have an hour to myself. I'm not going to do anything that I have to do. If I want to sit here, I'm going to sit here. If I want to drink me some water, I'm going to drink me some water. I'm going to stare at the building across my window. That's undedicated time, okay? Resources that help me stay productive. Using my job search plan, using a productivity app. I love Todoist. I Todoist all day long. Love it, love it, love it. Number 3, I will take a break from my search when what? I have completed my goal for the week. When I'm starting to feel fatigue from extended weeks of applying. When I feel like I need to re-energize. This is very important because I believe we live in a society that pushes us to overextend ourselves. And very often I tell people that they are measuring themselves against other people's expectations that are unrealistic. And so it is very realistic to take a break during your job search. It's very realistic to take a break when you work, okay? But we have to acknowledge it, we have to write it down, we have to state it so that we can be more intentional about honoring it and doing it, okay? Number 4, I reward myself or I recognize myself when what? I stick to my plan, I complete a part of my plan during a difficult week, or I allow myself to take a break. Reward yourself for taking a break. When you complete a part of my plan during a difficult week. So let's say you're just having a rough week. You set a goal of applying to, I don't know, 4 hours worth of applying for the week. Let's say you get through 2 or an hour and a half. If it was a really hard week, that's still an accomplishment. It's a small milestone. You gave yourself grace. You said, you know what? I need to take a break. I need to just pull it back a little bit. But guess what? By doing that, you allow your body to re-energize. And then when you get back into it, you can accelerate it. Maybe the next week you'll be able to do 6 because you have more energy, right? That's okay. All right, cool. Last page of our journal is, when I have a moment when I get off track or feel discouraged, I will tell myself what? I will tell myself that I'm qualified, equipped, and experienced to get a job. There are many people like me. Former performers. Ha ha ha. I had taken this from one of my students who was an actor. There are many people like me, insert whatever job you do, who have gotten jobs. That lets me know that I can do this. When I get off track, distracted, or lose focus, understand that that was a moment in time and I still have time to fulfill my vision and goals, okay? We want to embrace a mindset of abundance, okay? Not scarcity. Okay, So we're doing good on time. So we can do a breakout. It's 6:47. Let me stop share. Everybody's doing okay? Okay, I'm imagining behind the black boxes are smiles, so that's good. So before we break everyone out, I just want to tell you that what we're going to be doing is discussing the questions that I had put throughout the presentation, the reflection questions. Get through as many as you can, but it's okay that if you don't get through all of them, you all have access to this resource. So it's really more for you than anything. And share what you feel comfortable sharing. This is not, this is a safe space. So if there's anything that you don't feel comfortable sharing, it's okay. Nobody's pressuring you. Sounds good? Okay, cool. Do you want me to do the breakouts real quick, Valerie?
Sure.
Okay, how many folks we have in here? 12. So let's do, we lost
Or
some.
11 now.
Okay, no problem.
We could do 3 rooms with
Yeah, we'll
about
do
3 people
3.
each.
Okay, manually create, and then we're gonna do for, we can do for 15 minutes. And we'll count down at 30 seconds. Beautiful. Alrighty, friends, we'll see you all in your rooms. Oh, it didn't assign everybody. Hold on a second. Sorry, y'all. We're figuring this out. Okay, and then let me add you, Valerie there. We'll do here, technology, friends. I don't see you. Olamide.
I think it's because I might be the host.
Okay.
So I think someone has to stay here.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So I can stay here to like coordinate the rooms.
Okay, and I'm gonna join room 2.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm not sure. Is this because I believe I joined the group. Is this the group I joined?
It's saying that you were placed in room 2. Did you try moving in there?
Yeah, I did. I don't know. Unless maybe I clicked the wrong thing.
Do you want to try again?
Yes, please. But the thing is, I don't see the connect, like the columns. Let me see. Oh yeah, let me join. Thank you. I'll join.
Okay.
Aces. Beautiful. Okay, so we're coming to the Q&A part. If you all don't mind muting, I think a couple of people have a little bit of feedback. That would be, thank you, beautiful. So I'm actually going to, you all can put your hands up. You can use the chat for your questions, but I would love for you all to share any questions that you may have. And I'm gonna stop this just so you can see me fully. Does anyone have any questions? And Valerie and Olaf, any questions came up in your breakouts you wanna like repeat, we can share as a group. Feel free to share those as well. Okay, I think it's, is it Urido? Urido, can you correct my pronunciation?
Hi, Zeinab, it's Urado.
Urido, beautiful.
Oh, thank
Okay.
you.
I would love to hear your question.
Thanks. Thanks so much for your presentation, by the way. I learned a lot in such a short time, so thank you. And my question was regarding the networking aspect. Will that be something we plan for within our job search strategy? So you know how some people may want to dedicate like 2 hours per week or 4 hours. So in making all those contacts through different social media platforms, do we factor that in the job search process, or is that outside of the time that we set?
Yeah, I would definitely say you can incorporate it into your process if you feel like that would help you to be more consistent with it. Some people may feel like it's something they can do more casually without feeling like they need to schedule the time in, but just listen to yourself and figure out what it is that works best for you. I can share with like myself, because I navigate social media so much, I know that I'll touch, especially LinkedIn, quite a bit throughout the week, quite a bit throughout the day, right, Valerie? So I don't necessarily need to include it in my plan. I will say to your question though, if you are someone who is a little bit uncomfortable with the idea of networking, that accountability piece, putting it into your plan will make you more accountable to it and kind of give you the courage to really do it more consistently.
Oh, I see. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Very good question. Anyone else? I promise I won't bite. If anything, I'll tell a really cheesy joke. Okay. Olumide laughing at me. Okay, good. See, I told y'all. Okay, cool. I have a question that was asked in our breakout. I won't share just for the person's name, just for to respect them, but I thought it was a good question. One of the things that we talked about in the toolkit is, there are things that we want to do for ourselves. How do we keep ourselves accountable so that we keep doing it? And so one of the things that I shared was that we have to be more intentional about finding time for ourselves. And it's hard, especially when we have families, we have partners, or we're in school. But even if it's as little as 10 to 15 minutes a day, undedicated, you just sit, in your corner, sit on your patio, even go for a walk for 10 minutes and allow your brain to just think about the things that you haven't had the time to really think about, right? Creating that time, not only does it re-energize us, but it allows us to focus on the thing that we want for ourselves and not think about what we got to do for someone else. Another thing that I mentioned was if you're trying to, and even you can do this with your toolkit. I'm very much a visual person. I write stuff and I put it on my wall. So I have on my wall right here, like regular printer paper and some markers that I got from Dollarama. And I just wrote down my needs and my values. I put, I'm proud and grateful for. Different things that I've learned, I write it in front of me. Before I had an office, I used to put it right next to my bed. We talked about the practice of visualization and creating a vision board. And so I shared mine. I'll share it again because I will say I'm kind of proud of it. So I made this. So I had an idea of the things that I wanted for myself. I went and printed it out, spent a whole lot of money at Staples, honey, printed it out and put it on a cardboard. And in my old apartment, when I didn't have an office, I put it near my bed and I could see it when I got up. Or you can do a vision journal and you take your pages and you print it out here. It's a bit more private. So when people come over, they don't have to see that you're trying to lose 25 pounds by June. You can have it in this. But it's just little things that you can do for yourself. You start with one and you just do something else. It's a small milestone, okay? I think it was Uriel. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. You had another question?
Oh no, I just didn't. I forgot to lower my hand from that.
Oh,
Yeah.
no problem. No problem. Anyone else have a question? If you don't, it's okay. All right, cool. So let's just go back to the presentation real quick, so we can wrap up. Hold on. Technology is okay, cool. So just some things I want you all to just keep in mind for yourself. The key to surviving in or finding a job at an uncertain time is, one, embrace the uncertainty. Two, reconnect with what you value, what you need for yourself. Keep that relationship with yourself going. Three is then have a very specific plan that really outlines the things that you need to, the strategy you want to take, your schedule, your network and resources, all of those things. And then lastly, and most importantly, implement tools to support yourself, okay? I feel like this is sustainable, not just for your job search, but just for your life overall, you know? That's why I'm always thinking holistically, the whole person. We're not our jobs. Our jobs are just one aspect of it, of us. Granted, we are there so much, we feel like we are our jobs, but you are a whole person outside of your job. Okay, great. If anybody wants to get in touch with me, here's my contact info. My email is zainab@zainabkahera.com. My website is also on the worksheet I gave. I think Dina asked if I could share the presentation. Yeah, I'll share it with you all in the chat. And then also Valerie, I should be able to put a PDF. Can we email it to everyone that attended? Is that possible? Great. And then if you're interested in learning about web development, I work at an amazing college called Juno College. Again, based in Toronto. We've been around for nine years, and I have my email there as well if you have any questions about Juno. Okay, thank you all so much. I had a blast chatting with you, and I hope that you were able to really walk away with some great information this evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was an amazing presentation. We really appreciate you taking the time to sit with us this evening and talk about job searching during uncertain times. Any key takeaways from the audience? Dinah, would you like to share? I see you're unmuted.
Oh,
and then
I've learned a lot. I'll be reaching out to both of you just to, just to go over like I was just explaining to Valerie that I was like the third slide. I'm going through something at work right now, and I feel that the third slide basically encompassed and embodied myself.
Was that the one about the needs and the values?
Actually, it was more of like what you're feeling at your work. I think it was like right in the beginning, it was like, do you see yourself this? Do you see yourself that? Or like it was uncertainty.
Yeah, embracing the uncertainty. Yeah.
Okay,
very good. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay, and Kamani?
Yeah, thank you for being here, and thanks for the presentation. I learned a lot in the small amount of time. I think we were talking about it during the breakout room about the support toolkit, because that was the answer that I gave for how I how I would deal with uncertainty, how I would navigate uncertainty, because I don't think I've dealt with it in a good way in the past. And the idea of a journal, and like saying that the journal asks the questions, but it also provides the answer. So if you're ever uncertain, you just go back and you're looking at your own answer that you've already provided. And another thing that I took away when you said we were born curious, but based on our experience, we're less curious. So we, tend to stay in the same mindset. So I thought that was important as well. But yeah, thanks for being here and sharing your information. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And I see Linda is unmuted. Linda, would you like to share your key takeaway?
Hello. Oh, I think that about the needs and values, I thought that was really important to really pay attention to that and bring awareness to that. And it's something that I've been feeling like at work recently, and I realized I need to like put more energy into my own needs and values, and not just like I feel like I just came into this job just due to the uncertain times. So I thought that this Zoom was like very like exactly what I needed to hear.
Very good. Very good. I'm glad. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, Linda. I love that as well. Putting our own energy into needs and values. I think when it comes to job search, oftentimes, job search is a job in itself. And when it comes to job search, we can't just focus 100% of all our energy and efforts on applying and finding jobs. It's simply not sustainable. And it's when we are able to put our energy and focus on our well-being and our needs and values, I think that actually enhances the job search 100 times more. It could lead to success. Yes.
I want to say one more thing about that.
Sure.
I recently had a client, we did needs and values assessment, and what we identified is the type of work that she wanted to do, but what she still had freedom to do was to navigate different industries. So don't feel like you're restricted to doing one type of role. The thing that people tend to do is they change up industries, and then they're not, they focus so much on the industry, they're not paying attention to, is the job that I'm doing one that I like? So when you identify that you really like doing one specific, a certain realm of work with people, whether it's training them or coaching them or managing a process, you can jump to any industry that you want to, as long as you're aligning with the specific job role that you would like to do.
Wonderful. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, not to get so caught up in the titles or industries, but really thinking about like, what's the meta skill that underlies all of that? For example, leadership, organization, coordination, public speaking. Those are all meta skills that could be transferable and extrapolated amongst different industries.
Yeah. And also realize that when you really like what you do, there are things that you'll be willing to sacrifice, sometimes even the money, not permanently, but at least temporarily. as you start getting into it, if you're really enjoying what you're doing, you'll work on your career, you'll develop it so you can make more money, but at least you are your foot's in the door and you're doing something that you love. There are a lot of people who make a lot of money and they hate what they do. And the rest of us look at them like, but the X6 in your driveway, and they're like, but I'm miserable. So, the goal is to be happy with what you do,
Amazing. I love your holistic approach.
Thank you. Follow me on Instagram and LinkedIn, definitely LinkedIn. We're always there. Me and Valerie will say hi to you, okay? All of my social media is on my website.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing. So before we head out, is there anything else anyone want to share? I think this conversation is so good. I just want to keep it going, but we will wind down for the evening. We do have a post-event survey. Please fill it out. L.E.A.D, thank you so much for putting it in the chat. We are a nonprofit registered charity, and we would love to hear your feedback for events that will allow us to continue running these events for you in the future. And we want to create events that are based on what you need. So please let us know if there's any way we can improve and what you'd like to learn about next. We plan to do more of these career development workshops and events with various career specialists. So let us know what you need, and we will do our best to bring in speakers that will help you grow and develop. Okay, I'll leave the QR code on the screen for another moment. All right, and now we want to tell you about our upcoming events. So this Thursday, L.E.A.D, do you want to talk about our uni panel?
Yes, of course. So tomorrow, the 30th, we're going to be having the second part of our two-part college university panel event. It was amazing last week. Uredo was actually one of the panelists, and a lot of the high schoolers learned quite a lot. If you know anyone that's in high school or an incoming college student that, wants to learn more about how to master their college experience, and any high schoolers that might be exploring post-secondary schooling options, we definitely recommend you share it with them. I'll be sending the link on the chat as well, so you could, copy it and send it. And it's
Awesome.
at
Thank you, Lamide.
6:30 p.m.
Awesome. Yes, we had such an amazing discussion with the panel last time. We ended up going a little bit over time, but it was truly an amazing event with amazing young people who are leaders in the community. Hey, we also have a career camp. We are, however, full. Our career camp, we had an explosion of interest, which is amazing. So enrollment is now closed. So just disregard the registration due date at the bottom. We will actually be doing another cohort this coming winter 2022 in January for young adults aged 20 to 30 to help them with their career development. So I'm just going to back up so you can see our poster. As you can see, Zeinab is one of our speakers for the career camp. Woohoo! We're super happy to have her join us to facilitate a workshop on cover letters and resumes. The career camp is a 4-week intensive program. This fall will run October 4th to November 1st. Stay tuned for our January date, but it's for youth who are, you may be feeling lost, stuck, maybe unfulfilled, maybe a recent grad, you're unsure of your next step. So what the career camp will offer is 8 workshops, well, more like 7. The 8th is our cumulative assignment presentation. We'll have a little bit of show and tell from the campers. And in those workshops, we will cover a wide range of career development topics from networking, cover letters and resumes, LinkedIn optimization, L.E.A.D.
Interview preparation, knowing your values and skills. Zainab touched on that a lot today, and we're going to have an in-depth assessment as well of your strengths, your values, and your skills. Literally everything you need to know to help you develop a career.
Yes, absolutely. So for those who are interested, you're welcome to reach out to Lamity and I for our upcoming winter 2022 cohort. So that's for those who are 20 to 30 in the greater Toronto area, right? And we love to connect with you, stay connected with us on these platforms.